Miles Mustang, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Lamborghini Reventón. Now, if you've played Need for Speed Shift, basically any game from when this car was released all the way from 2009 all the way up to now, you probably know about this car. Now the Crew 2 has it. And basically this is a fancier version of the Murcielago when it comes to shell-wise and even a bit of performance. But underneath it's basically a Murcielago. Probably the Murcielago SV most likely. But there was only 21 of the coupes made, and there was only 15 of the roadsters. This one's the coupe. But I'm not sure what to think about this car so far. I mean, I've driven in other games, and it's different from the Aventador and the Murcielago, but let's see how the Crew 2 justifies this car. As you can see, it's 1.2 million credits, and that's if you have the season pass. So I imagine it's like 1.3, maybe 1.4 million without it. And as usual, I'll see you guys out on the track. Now, as you can see, I'm fully upgraded as usual, and no pro settings. And surprisingly, this thing has customization. I thought for sure it was not going to have customization, but it does. It has a wide body, some front bumpers, a hood, a wing, side skirts, wheel. You can change the wheels. I mean, it actually has customization. Now, stock, this thing was very slow. It actually shocked me how slow it was stock. Like, I know in reality this thing's damn fast, and even the Gran Turismo is fast. But on here, it was slow. But I'm going to be using the main Highlands East. One of my favorite tracks, and also one of the best tracks to test out hypercar on. Also, as you can hear, it actually sounds different. From the Aventador. It actually sounds different. They actually give it its own sound. But as usual, I'm gonna go quiet and see you guys out on the track.
To my thoughts. Despite the weird sound I was hearing while driving it, because it sounded like a through the whole track, this car is pretty good. It made a 310, which is decent with no pro settings. That's very decent. It's a little slow off the launch, as you saw, but that could probably be fixed with some gearing, maybe. In some cars you can't fix it, but maybe this one could be fixed with that. I could say this car's not going to be OP. That's the one thing I can say straight off the bat. That's not going to be an OP car. You cannot expect that from us. I can already tell you that. And to tell you the truth, I don't even think this thing could compete with the Aventador, because the Aventador is one of the higher, well, not one of the higher, but one of the middle class hypercars on this game. That's actually very decent for what it is. But this thing probably could compete, but only if you're a real good driver. So this car's definitely not OP. Is it interesting to have in this game? Yeah, it's interesting, but do I think it's necessarily worth buying? Not really. Like, maybe if you're a fan of Lamborghinis and you really want it, go for it. Or if you want to revisit your childhood by driving it, because if you grew up with this car like I did, well, I didn't really grow up with this car, but I kind of grew up with the car. But if you really did grow up with this car, it's worth getting. But it's one of those things, if it's a car you want as your first hypercar, I would say save that money for the Corvette ZR1, the C7 ZR1, or the Expo GTX. I wouldn't say save it for this. So, it's not worth getting if you want it as your first hypercar, or if you're just not a fan of Lamborghini, you don't really care about it, and you're still trying to collect cars right now in the game. But, that's all I really have for today's video, and I'll see you guys later in the next video.